What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 4, you guys. Episode 2. The episode is titled, You've Gots to Be Lying. Hell, if that ain't the understatement. The Scott Brothers. The Scott Brothers. The Scott Brothers. Alright, you guys, so before we go ahead and jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and are not subscribed to the channel, then I need you guys to do me that solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know you can do that by liking the video, subscribe to my channel, turning on your post notifications, sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville, shall we? All right, you guys. So before we go ahead and get into this episode, I want to talk about two things that I saw after I posted my video last Sunday. So I think it was later in the afternoon last Sunday when I got a DM from subscriber Tracy. Shout out to Tracy. So Tracy DMs me. There were these three young ladies. They were going live, right? They were live with Maurice, Marceau, and the other brother. So they were live with Mark. I think Mark is the oldest brother. I'm not positive, right? But they went live with Mark, right? I could not sit through that live to save my life, right? Because those young ladies were, very great at what they were good at what they were doing, right? But with Mark is literally just like his brother Marceau. They look alike, and they spew the same bullshit, right? Same bullshit, same rhetoric, right? So I couldn't sit there and listen to that interview. I had to tune out. Then I also know that Miss Wanda did a live last week, right? And y'all know I'm not going to sit here and watch no Wanda and her curls talk, right? For me, when it comes to Wanda and her curls, it's the broken English that she speaks, right? Now, you guys know I am from Texas, and you guys know that we have our own dialect here too, right? And there are some words that in the English dictionary that I can't. That I know there are words here in Texas that we don't say that are, the correct pronunciation, right? But I do my best, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a wordsmith, but I do know the English dictionary, right? But Miss Wanda and her curls, she couldn't say fellatio she couldn't say fellatio. It was just the things that she was saying. I'm just like, lady, get off this motherfucking live, right? Now I will say, and I didn't watch the live. I got to see snippets of the live, and I got to see Color Me Pink Keisha's channel when she discussed it, right? Miss Wanda did say some things that I did agree with, right, about Mel, because that whole live was about Mel, right? She did say, with Mel, like, how do you not remember giving fellatio to a man, right? Wait, question that we all wondered. How does Mel not remember if she sucked a man's dick, right? Girl, anybody who sucks dick, eat vagina, when you put your face in somebody else's private area. Just saying, right? Then she also talked about the fact about Mel's friends, right? Which we'll talk about that as we get deeper into the episode, right? We'll talk about that as we get deeper into the episode. She also talked about Marceau. She glossed over that. I wouldn't have, but hey, it is what it is. So this episode, we see Ho Holt, and he's doing a photo shoot for Valentine's Day, right? So he said that Mel suggested the calendar, and I was like, Mel, not your ex-wife, Mel. He says, no, not that Mel. My new manager of a few months, Mel Nika. I was like, oh my God. So you're going to do anything to keep a male in your life, huh? Obsessed much? Even though he says that, this Mel was the original Mel. He called Destiny to come down and bring him some baby oil because Madani is right down the street, I guess, right? Oh, God. When I think of Martell, I don't think of Valentine's Day. I think of side nigga, side chick, all of that, right? February 15th, but not February the 14th. And I'm not even someone who celebrates Valentine's Day, but hey, go off, right? So Destiny brought him the baby oil, and, they're talking. So she's telling him about, what happened out there in LA when they filmed the reunion. She says that Melody overheard her conversation with Tisha when they got back to Huntsville. They went out for brunch. She said that Mel said it really wasn't the fact that she was, having a conversation about her. It was the fact that she was having a conversation with her enemy, right? And Martell says that, well, you know what? Now you're her enemy as well, right? And then, what else happened? Martell said one thing that I did agree with him. He said that, Mel likes to have a lot of yes people around her. And honestly, you guys might be upset. You guys might not. I don't know. But I agree with Martell that Melody does want yes people around her, right? That's the vibe I get. Um, so then, somebody you need to spray him, spray him with the baby. I'm like, yeah, I need to spray that nigga with some holy water. That's what needs to be done. Is holy water needs to be sprayed up upon his body. Holy water to get the whole hoe out of him, right? So then we see Mel. So Mel went and met up with Stormy. So I'm guessing at this point now, Stormy is going to be like not a main cast member, but she's probably going to be like a friend of or a recurring cast member. So, Mel is going to be rebranding her skincare, which I follow Mel on Instagram, and I did see when she had her party for her skincare, right? I saw that she had a lot of people there. I know Bondi went. I saw Dr. Heavenly went. I saw, who else did I see that was there? It was a lot of people. I was like, big ups to her when it comes to her business. I will never knock a person down about their business and they hustle. So big ups to Mel, right? So Mel asked Stormy for some advice, right? So Stormy tells her, and I love what she said, right? Because a lot of companies don't do this, and I'd be like, why don't y'all do this? Like, especially when you go to websites where they say, oh, we have this product, then you order this shit, they say, oh, it's on back order, or oh, we ain't got it, or it's discontinued. Bitch, take it off the website. I literally hate when people do that. If don't oversell your shit, right? She tells her not to oversell and not to overstock, right? Especially with this the panorama, right? You don't know when you're gonna get your shit. So then Mel invites her over to her house for the pajama party, right? They did talk about the reunion, and even Stormy had to laugh and be like, "Girl, I was dying laughing when you said you can remember if you sucked that man's dick, right?" Now Mel said that Martell's, and these are Mel's words, not JB's. Mel said his baby mama says he eats her from the ass to the vagina. I was like, girl, she's here's. Let me segue let me go on for a little bit of a tangent real quick, right? I'm gonna hope and pray that none of my people do this. I'm gonna hope and pray y'all don't do this. Who the fuck goes and watches that girl go live? Like, why do y'all watch her? Why do people watch Ariane Curry live? All she's gonna do when she get on live, because I saw Empress TV or Empress Radio, right? I saw that channel, right? And they had her live after the reunion, right? All she does is she sits there on the live, look at the camera, look at the comments, talk about the fact that people are in the comments talking shit about her, but she ain't worried about it. And then you see that her hair bothers me. Her hair is just something that bothers me. It's ugly with that big ass that big ass part, right? I'm really hoping, praying that none of my people go and watch Ariane Curry when she's live, right? So Melody invited her to the pajama party, right? She's asking her who's coming. She says, my manager's coming, this person's coming, Kimmy's coming, Tiffany's coming, so-and-so's coming, right? She says, what about Letitia? What about Destiny? Oh, Letitia and Destiny, I am not inviting them, right? So when we were in LA, I had overheard them talking about me in the room. And she says, what did they say? Well, it was very disrespectful. It was very negative things that they were saying. Okay, well, what did they say? I just don't want to repeat it. But that's probably just a Scorpio in me. And I was like, did you just say that that's the Scorpio in you? But you literally just said in last week's episode to Kimmy that you heard them say that's because, that's because Mel's a Scorpio, which I got it wrong last week saying a Sagittarius. But you said, so do you not realize that that's a contradiction, Mel? That's a contradiction. That's a contradiction. I get that you talking about yourself being a Sagittarius, and I guess it could be the context, but you won't say what they said about you, right? You won't say what they said about you, but it ain't got nothing to do with me. It's just a contradiction. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys right now. I'm still trying to feel Stormy out because it's so interesting, because in past seasons when we saw Stormy, I really liked Stormy, right? And I'm not going to, the jury's out on Stormy. I'm not going to say I dislike Stormy, and I'm not going to say I like Stormy, right? I'm going to say I'm still trying to feel Stormy out to see what she's bringing to the show. Look like she's bringing love and hip hop to the show, but hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. We're going to pause here and we're going to move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, we move over to Marceau and Letitia. They're at Scope, right? So Letitia is talking to Marceau about Scott Manor. I'm like, you know what? Scott Manor is starting to give me Chateau Charest. It's giving Chateau Charest because y'all know how long it took Charest almost a decade to build that fucking house, right? So that's what it's starting to give me at this point, right? Neverland Ranch. Shout out to Nene Leaks for that one, right? So Wanda and her curls come into the office, right? And Wanda and her curls, where we at? Wanda and her curls come in, right? So Wanda and her curls, they want to do she wants to do a food truck. Let me keep it real with you guys. Wanda and her curls, I would not buy any food from Wanda and her curls because Wanda and her curls she just gives me absolutely not. I just think she would, nope, 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 no, no, would not do it, right? So she said she sent Tisha all the information. He was like, why would you send Tisha the information? Well, because y'all are investing in this food truck. He's like, wait a minute. I ain't know nothing about that. She says, Marceau, we had talked about it. You told me to tell my mama. Whatever he told her to tell mom. He says, Tisha. That was my sneaky way of saying no. I'm like, Tisha, have you not? I mean, you do it to yourself. You do it to yourself because, I mean, you know that your husband don't pay you any bit of attention. But you do it to yourself. You do it to yourself. But hey, ain't got shit to do with me, right? So then Wanda brings up the fact that Marceau had posted that post about Maurice on Instagram, right? Now she said he throwed him under the bus. Ma'am, it is not throwed. It is threw him under the bus. Child, what public school did Wanda and her girls go to? Because we need to go and get that school reevaluated for their credentials because their credentials. I know it's probably sound like I said they credentials. We need to get them reevaluated for their credentials, right? Because they're doing a piss poor job. That's all I gotta say. They are doing a piss poor job. Because if you pass in Wanda and her curls, so Wanda's saying to Marceau, you know, you posting that made people come at Tisha. And I was like, who came at Tisha? The only person that I know that came at Tisha after that was Aryan, right? Aryan made that whole post. Did she make a post about them or did she? No, she went live. Again, who got the time to watch her go live? Because like I said, all that girl does is look at the fucking camera. I just don't understand. I just don't understand what y'all see. What the fast? Even she said in a live, she don't know why people come in her live. Girl, you know why people come in your live, but hey, play on, right? So, Wanda says, she has the issue, Marceau already knew she had the issue with the 20 women's. I'm like, Miss Wanda, once again, we gonna have to go look at that school and get them reevaluated. Women's, that's not, women is already plural. It's more than one. Woman, one person is a woman. You're a woman. You and Tisha, you're two women. Together, you're women. Like a group of women. The women. Where's the women's restroom? Well, would you say people do? Is it the women's restroom? Child, I don't care. But she said women's. You know what? I'm gonna leave Wanda alone, right? So then she asked Marceau, did he get a apartment with Holt, right? I'm like, girl, you know goddamn well he is not gonna answer that question for you, and he didn't, right? I want to know who did this interview look for Miss Wanda, right? First of all, this wig is plopped on. Then she looks like some garland. I'm like, no, absolutely not. I'm gonna say this, and because when it comes to Letitia, right? Letitia obviously believes what Marceau says to her, right? If she likes it, believes it, I love it, right? It ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't got a horse in that fight, right? I have nothing in that. But what I will say though is, when it comes down to Marceau does play up for the show, right? Marceau knows what people think. Marceau knows what people think about him, right? And he plays up to that. He plays up to that asshole role on this show. He does all that shit for a specific reason. He does that shit to get under people's skin, right? Marceau knows what he's doing. That's what I'm gonna leave it at. Marceau knows what the fuck he's doing. He's doing it to irritate his wife, his mother-in-law, and some of the fans. You can't pay me to believe anything other than that Marceau is playing up his role. And that's really what I think it is. I think that's what it is. Now, people might ask the question, do I believe that Marceau is, cheating on Letitia? Do I believe that Marceau is cheating on Letitia? What I will say, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit later in the episode too, right? About the person that he's allegedly cheating with, right? What I will say, though, is if Marceau is cheating, he's cheating with someone who has a whole lot. Y'all, Siri is a fucking bitch. She literally cut me off in the middle of my sentence. I saw her start to circulate, and then she just she just ended my damn video. But back to what I was saying. Do I believe that Marceau is cheating? No. Yes, and allegedly, yes. No. That's what I'm gonna say, right? What I'm going to say is, if he is, he's cheating with someone who is smart. Well, not that smart, right? But he's cheating with someone who obviously has a lot to lose, right? He either had her sign an NDA, because I don't know how much money they got, but I don't think he could be doing some stuff for her. If allegedly, if there is a woman, he could be doing stuff for her. He could be paying her rent, paying this, doing that. And like I said, she could also just have a lot to lose, right? But I don't know. I don't care if Letitia believes her husband. That is all that matters. If she believes that her husband ain't cheating on her, baby, that's all that matters. That is all that matters. That is all that matters if she believes her husband, right? So then we see Maurice and Kimmy. So Maurice and Kimmy, they went over to Jalen's new place, right? So they sit down and Jalen is talking to them, right? And he's talking about the fact that he saw the post on, after the reunion. He did talk about the reunion as well, about the fact that Maurice said that he had never been around Arian, but Marceau posted that, right? So Maurice wants to say that, the post was inaccurate and that Marceau was being funny, right? Maurice, I don't know how inaccurate that post is, right? I don't know. Now, when Maurice says that the post was inaccurate, I'm questioning what's inaccurate, right? Because you're clearly in that photo. So it's very accurate. I don't know if maybe he's saying what's inaccurate is the shit that, Arian Curry said about him, right? And a linebacker, which once again, I'm like, why would you call that woman a linebacker? Like that, girl, what are you? But hey, we ain't finna get into her again. I don't want to mention her. Kimmy said that they talked about it, right? And I'm like, did y'all? I mean, you talked about it, but I don't know if Maurice really gave a legitimate response to that. But, if Kimmy was happy with that response, it is what it is. And I ain't got much to say about it, right? I don't have much to say about it, but they're good. So then we move over to Melody, right? Actually, you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here and then we're going to wrap up the episode. All right, you guys, so we move over to Melody's crib for her pajama party. I love the way her house was decorated, right? So the ladies start to show up, right? Stormy comes, Tiffany comes, some other women that we don't know come. Then we see Kiki, who is Letitia's cousin, Miss Wanda's niece, right? I was like, wait a minute, her cousin? I got an issue with the cousin and with Melody. Melody, if you ain't rocking with Letitia, why you rocking with her family, right? And then Kiki, that's your obviously that's your first cousin, because like I said, Ms. Wanda said that is her niece. So that is your first fucking cousin, baby. Let me tell you a hard secret, a loudly kept secret, right? If any of my cousins are into it with somebody, Now, granted, if me and this person have been friends for years, then I'll be like, I'm like, you know what, you and my cousin, y'all don't see it for each other, right? But what I want you to do when I'm around you, and this is gonna be to my friend, what I want for you when I'm around you, please don't mention my cousin, because that's what we not gonna do. You ain't gonna talk shit about my cousin, and I'm just gonna sit here and listen to you talk about my cousin. We ain't gonna play that game. And with my cousin, I'm like, you know what? Me and this person, we've been friends for years, right? Y'all have an issue with each other. I love you. You my cousin. Just and know that when I'm around this person, it ain't gonna be no bashing because I'm not gonna play that with my family, right? But if we just became friends within the last few years, if it ain't like a close friendship where we've been friends for years and our families know each other, baby, I'm gonna cut you off quicker than you can say bye. Because I'm like, my loyalty is with my cousin, right? My loyalty is always gonna be with my loyalty is always gonna be with my family, no matter what. I want to put that out there. My loyalty is always gonna be with my family, but I'm not if it's a long term friendship, like with my best friend. My best friend and I have been friends for 17 years, right? We've been friends for 17 years. Actually, the funny thing is, my best friend and one of my cousins did get into it with each other, right? And I told my best friend, I didn't, my cousin, but see, and the thing with that is, my cousin was, then my cousin didn't have even a legitimate reason for having an issue with my best friend. She had no legitimate issue she had no legitimate reason to have an issue with my best friend. And I told her that, I'm like, and we were in high school at the time. I'm like, why do you dislike her so much? And she can never give me a reason. I said, okay, then it's stupid, it's childish. And because she said, wait a minute, so and so my best friend name is Danielle. She was like, Danielle is your best friend? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you remember I used to have an issue with her. I'm like, I know. And I was like, it was stupid too. And I'm not taking sides, but that is my best friend. I'm like, if you still got an issue with her, you just got an issue with her. But that's my best friend at the end of the day. And she said, no, we cool. I'm like, okay, cool. So back to this. If it were an issue where if it was, but still, my loyalty is always going to be with my family. Like I said, my loyalty is always going to be to my family, but I'm not going to ever sit and let anybody talk bad about my family in front of me. That I can say. I'm not going to ever let that happen, right? Never, ever, 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 ever will that happen. That blood is thicker than water. Ever heard that saying, Kiki? And then, isn't Kiki the one that tried to check Kimmy last season? See, I see you, girl. You're playing the fence. You playing the fence, right? So then Kiki asked Kimmy, where's the other Mrs. Scott? And she says, oh, well, this is Melody's party, and Melody decided not to invite her. She says, well, we got to respect the choices. I was like, what? No, ma'am. I would have been like, oh, you didn't invite my cousin? Okay. Well, Mel, thank you for inviting me, but I got to go, right? Because I could see it then. I would be like, why did you invite me but not my cousin, right? What's the issue? Are you trying to use me against my cousin? Because if you are, deuces to you, boo. So then we see Stormy and Kiki. So Stormy and Kiki, they talked, right? They had a conversation about Kimmy and this post, right? So Kimmy came in. And, Stormy's like, she be wanting to defend Kimmy on social media, right? And then Mel comes in and she asks if, asks Kimmy if she believes what they're saying on social media is true. And I was like, what they're saying on social media? And then it dawned on me. I'm like, girl, I know you are not. She is mentioning her. I'm like, girl, why do we keep mentioning her? Y'all remember what she said when she was talking to Tasha K, that y'all are using her likeness without her permission. Girl, even that dumbass brother Mark said to them young ladies that they are using his likeness on the show without his permission. I'm like, do y'all not know what it means to use a person's likeness? Do y'all not know what that means? They have to get a consent to use your likeness, right? You do know that, right? Saying your name is not using your likeness. We're just mentioning you. If they have like flashback footage, if they show pictures of you, that's using your likeness. Child, I ain't got time for these dumbass people. We need to go find what school these people went to in Huntsville, Alabama. And actually, Arian is not even from Huntsville, but hey, I think she was jumped on her head as a baby. So Kimmy says no, she doesn't believe. So basically, what Mel was saying, does she believe what old girl was saying about the guys when they were in Atlanta, that they were down there cheating with other women? Kimmy doesn't believe it, right? But she says if proof came to her, she wouldn't be, appalled. Which I don't think anybody would be, right? So then Stormy says, well, do you think that Marceau was deflecting when he did that? Mm-mm. I do get where Stormy was coming from about the deflection, right? It's kind of like, oh, the heat is on me right now, right? So let me take this heat off of me and put it on my brother. But I don't think that Marceau was deflecting, right? I think Marceau was being an asshole. That's what Marceau was doing. Marceau was being an asshole, right? Because Maurice said on the reunion stage, "Oh, I ain't never been around a woman like that," right? So Marceau was like, "Oh, I got one for you. Let me post this picture showing that you actually were there when we were all in Atlanta." And then she comes out and says she's the one that took the picture, and Martell agrees, saying that she did take the picture, right? So I don't think it was deflecting. Like I just said, I think it was Marceau being himself and being a fucking asshole. So here's my thing. Why the fuck are we discussing Letitia if you didn't invite her to this party? And Kiki, why the fuck are you sitting here discussing your cousin's marital issues when Mel just sit here and said how she has reevaluated basically her friendship with Letitia. If I hear somebody say something about like I said, if somebody I'm cool with, friends with, and I don't even know if they are friends, I'm gonna say associates, right? Now, if it's an associate and you got an issue with my cousin, baby, that association is discontinued, right? But to hear this woman say something about your cousin, and then you gonna sit here and divulge more information about her marriage, I would slap the shit out of Kiki if she was my cousin. Like, absolutely not. I just don't understand it. So then at the end of the episode, Tiffany, she pulled Kimmy to the side. She wants to talk to Kimmy about the fact at the reunion that Kimmy mentioned that she had got fired from the Chamber of Commerce, right? Tiffany says she didn't get fired from the chamber. She quit 5 years ago. Stormy comes over being nosy. I will say though, Tiffany, you might want to blame your good friend Mel, because Mel is the reason that we thought you still worked at the chamber, right? So take that, right? Tiffany and Stormy, they're not up to a good food with each other, right? Things went left with those two. We're gonna see how it plays out, you guys. But that's the episode. Please let me know what you guys thought about it. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications so that you guys are notified when I drop anything else. Share the video, and until the next time, you guys stay safe out there. Please take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So I don't know how these reviews are going to be uploaded, but what you guys are going to see is Love and Marriage Huntsville, Young, Famous, and African, Episode 1 review, and Power Book 4 Forest review. All right, you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.